top 5, and then they have their subdivisions that are controlling for the past like 7,000 years.
Wow, that long.
Yeah. Something happened 7,000 years ago on this planet. But the past 400 years, 500 years, where the religions begin to really come forth, the religions really come forth out of our ancient spirituality. They've created all the religions of today so that they can conquer humanity, so that they can reap the financial benefits of the land and of human energy. I'm going to stop there.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Of the human energy. So everybody's waking up, and as much as a lot of us in the diaspora are learning that we are the descendants of those that were taken here from mostly West Africa, there are those, the Slavs and others, that are waking up too and realizing that, hey, they're not America, and America is not their land. Right?
That's true.
There are those that were told that they were indigenous or native Indians, and they're learning that they're not. They're their parents' back in, after slavery was over. And so
Can you
forth.
repeat that last part you just said?
You're talking the indigenous.
Yes.
There are some indigenous people that are of pale skin that are also waking up and realizing that they're not Native Americans. They thought they were told all their life they were. But you can go back in history, and when slavery was very prominent, and coming out of slavery, when the colonizers, the Europeans, pushed back the natural indigenous people of the land, were really of all skin shades, actually.
Right.
Because we come in all skin shades.
Right.
We're the most diverse. Africans are the most diverse on the planet.
Right.
In features, in skin shades, in hair,
It shows.
textures, in height, in body size. We're the most diverse, and we give life to all. So, so when they pushed aside the indigenous people into camps and reservations and so forth, they gave some of them some privilege, right? Privilege is not what it's made out to be. And so there were those that were the Slavs of their own Europeans that had also, and lower class people back then that have also come to America, the New World. So they were not the upper echelons and classes of their own people. They were treated a lot like everyone else too, and the slaves, and a lot of them worked the fields also. If they wanted to so-called have some privilege, they were told that they could go onto the reserves with the regular indigenous people up there for $5. They're called the $5 Indians. Okay, you can look it up. And so imagine now, 400 years later, generation after generation after generation, you were born into that. Naturally, you're like, oh, I'm indigenous, right?
Yeah.
So many of them are waking up. They're waking up. They're learning as we are learning and researching. And the key right now to our salvation is to research and educate ourselves. And the further back you go in history, is the more truth you find. It's the more purified the knowledge, the information is.
Right.
Going back 100 years, 200 years, blah. Okay? Right? Go back to the 1600s. And even before there, then, when it comes to religion.
Yes, yes.
If you really want to know and discern the truth.
Right.
And find out about yourself. I know a lot of us and a lot of people are afraid to do DNA tests. They're saying, oh, they're going to take our blood, they're going to do this, they're going to do this. They've done it all.
That's right.
They've done it all.
Ain't got it by now, they ain't gonna get it.
And I think some people are afraid to take it. Why? Because they're really something and they don't want to know the truth. Because their soul, their higher self, their spirit knows the truth. And if you just want to stick to what you've been told, and you don't want to do that, you're, oh, I know who I am. I'm black, or I'm white, or I'm Spanish, or Portuguese, or whatever. I don't have to take that. You've got something else coming. Because none of us are also just of one blood and of one tribe. We're mixed. And it doesn't matter how we got there, that is still part of you. DNA is DNA. And whatever those signatures says, you know, your eye color, your shape, your actions, and your deeds, it's in your blood.
Right.
And we as human beings, we're gods. We're
Right.
all gods of various levels, and you know, we're all gods. We're all from the one, the all, the creator.
That's right.
I
Right.
keep hearing people say they're not African, but because they didn't come from Africa, but I think life started here on the
but
continent.
this planet is older than they say it is.
Yeah, because
Exactly.
there's no way they can accurately calculate that.
This planet has had its own reincarnations and reincarnations.
That's
We
right.
had the Lemurians, the Atlanteans, and all other ants and beings that, look, we gotta go deep, 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 deep.
Right, because I get
Okay.
some people would tell us that we're not Africans, or I'm not from here. A lot of people tell me that. I'm
I
like,
know there's a lot of people saying that, oh, it's America that was the
Turtle Island and
yes.
Turtle Island and all
Hebrew
of that.
Israelite and this and
You
that.
also have to, the Hebrew, so I've lived and experienced the
Israelite?
Hebrewism,
Hebrewism.
right?
Okay.
I know that because when, as I was waking up, I'm a pastor. I used to be a pastor.
Okay.
A licensed pastor, missionary, evangelist, all that.
All up in Canada.
In Canada, mainly, yes, but mainly in the U.S. Because
Oh.
after I finished everything, the Spirit sent me
To the
as a missionary to the U.S.
To help us out, because we sure need help.
Went to a particular ministry,
Okay.
and I was in the U.S. for 10 years. I worked in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Okay. The South.
Yeah, in the South, and I went into the prisons. I ministered to both the male and female, and I was a teacher at a Christian school / church. It was a school and church. It was everything, and for 10 years, and then I went back to Canada.
Okay.
In hindsight, after I went back some years later when the Spirit woke me up, in 2013 I had a very bad fall that left me partially paralytic for 3 years in bed.
Wow.
And
You
my
said 3 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
I couldn't sit, stand, walk. My memory, I couldn't speak, couldn't hardly brush my teeth. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Wow.
I still experiencing some things from it.
Okay.
Gotten some help since I came here. But my way, how I was led to heal myself, that was all part of my initiation into our ancient Kemet spirituality.
Okay.
Because the doctors, nurses, nobody could help me. Oh, scans and x-rays and stuff wasn't really showing up anything. When I tell them what I'm experiencing, even seeing 3, 4, 7 of you, you know, and things like that, they would tell me, oh, well, that's not supposed to be happening. I'm like, can you tell me that's not supposed to be
Yeah,
happening?
and it's happening.
Well, and it's happening. You know, I couldn't turn my head, you know, couldn't remember anything. They used to call me the elephant brain
Wow.
all my life, and suddenly here I am. You tell me your name, and the moment you say it, it's gone. It's like I hear it, but it's gone. And anyway, the Spirit spoke to me because I've always had a tight relationship from 12 years old with the Spirit. I started hearing the voice of the Almighty or my ancestors from I was 12 years old, and they've been guiding me. And 12 years old was when I got baptized and started preaching to my family first. And my life went downhill after I get baptized, I'd say that. And then at 27, out at a party, I heard a voice say to me, "You better get home early because you're going to church tomorrow." It was as loud as that I quickly turned and said, to look to see who was talking to me. There was no one there. I told my boyfriend at the time that we're not staying up late. I'm going home. I didn't tell him. And sure enough,
Makes sense.
I went to church, and that was it. My life started to change, and I went down the path of Christianity, only to realize that afterwards, after the Spirit brought me out of it, because I was always very studious and studying and researching, and always been inquiring certain scripture verses. God is a spirit. They that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. My goal was, what is spirit? What is truth? And also the question everybody asked, what is God? And one of the first thing I heard in 2013, I think it was, while praying, meditating, doing my Bible studies, I heard, "Your God." And it shook me. It shook me like water gushed. The shock, the tears, and everything came. But because I was meditating right then, I saw it all. I saw it all. Prior to that, in one of my studies, the Spirit led me through the Bible Concordance and other dictionary, the Webster Dictionary and the Merriam Dictionary. Gotta have a Merriam Dictionary. And the word was soul. I was never interested into Black Panther, Black movements. All my life growing up, I was never that type of a Nubian woman. But then the Spirit just started to divert me in certain things, starting from when Obama was running for president, and I was never in politics, so don't tell me when there's any election or any, I didn't know, but I found myself fasting and praying for months, and I was an intercessor in the church, and praying for others, interceding for others all over the world was my thing. I get in the Spirit like that, and I travel in the spirit realm. So I meet people in the Spirit. I hear people in the Spirit from other countries. I get a lot of people from women, especially from the Middle East and so forth. Their energy, they just come to me for prayer. They would just line up. So I was meditating and praying, and sorry, I just lost my train of thought there. And
you were meditating and praying after the women come to you from the Middle East.
I had several sessions like that of people coming from, or me traveling to other worlds. And sometimes if someone is there, I remember one incident where a brother, because the Spirit had taken me over from church, and they had to drive my vehicle home, and one stayed with me for a while because I was not released from this. And
from the meditation.
The prayer.
Okay.
I was praying in, people talk about tongues. It's actually, in ancient days, we didn't use the word language, tongue. We speak in tongues, meaning your tribal tongue, right? Mandinka, Wolof,
right.
Tongues. So a lot of the things, sometimes you hear people praying in church, they're tapping into an area which they don't know is their ancestral tongue.
Inside, yes.
Right? And or either that or a divine language to build up their own spirit and soul, which they don't understand. It doesn't have anything to do with Christianity, Muslim or anything.
It's the God within you.
When you reach a certain how should I say, vibration or energy in your desires, it ignites something in your brain, your pineal brain, and so forth, and you just automatically tap into it. These are things they don't teach you. All of this go back to Kemet and the original science that we know of the body that is linked to the planets and linked to the trees and the animals and everything. So what we need to do is drop all that crap that was given to us by the northern forces, European forces that created all the religions we have today,
Right.
and connect it back to who we truly are. Right? Go within.
That's
And,
right.
and these clues, they're more like clues that are in all the holy books, what they call the holy books, the scriptures, whatever. There's clues there, but you really have to be really sincere in your heart about whatever that religion is that you're studying for you to find that truth. And it will eventually lead you back to the purity.
Where you come from.
Yes, it will eventually lead you back to that.
Catch.
So, yeah.
Wow.
So I don't follow any religion. Joseph doesn't follow any religion at
I
all.
thought Joseph was a Muslim.
No.
I really thought, I don't know why. I thought,
I would say,
Because
Assalamu alaikum.
He fits so much here in
Yeah,
Gambia,
he
right?
does.
Everyone that sees him
Yeah.
is like,
If
hey.
I say nothing, they must think I'm a wallah.
But even when he was in America, people thought he was Walla.
wow.
Yeah, because I go to African festivals and
Really?
members of the Wallach tribe would walk up to me and say, "Wallah," and I would know what they're talking about. And say, here I am today.
Yeah. So have you ever been out of America before?
Yeah, I travel. I've traveled, but not
Okay.
to
On the African continent?
Closest I got to was maybe Italy.
Mauritania.
No, Italy.
Oh,
Italy.
Italy? No, I'm saying the continent.
No, no, I've never been on the
He
continent.
said
Oh.
the closest he got
Yeah,
to the
closest
continent.
well, yeah, I thought he had misunderstood me. We didn't say Italy, yeah. I know you can see Africa from Italy, but I meant the continent, though. So this is your first time landing on the African continent?
Awesome.
Wow.
And I've
My
wanted
first
to do
time
it,
too.
Really?
And I've wanted to do it for a long time.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I've had that desire for a while.
So what made you guys decide at this junction in your life to, you know, make that transition or to
Well,
visit
me
Africa?
personally, as I said before, I reincarnated into this planet in this lifetime for my spiritual journey to change certain things in my own soul group, my family, and the community at large. And so that's why at 12 years old is sort of the marker spiritually. It's like, how should I say it? You know, when a child is born, they just live in that spiritual realm, and their memory is very much intact of that spiritual realm. And me, when I was born, my mother said that there were arguments and quarrels for me. There were other family members or people who wanted me. So, you know, they talk about being born with the umbilical cord around your neck and so forth. I don't know if that was my case, but they saw something on me that was different. And sure enough, it's like that for me with my family. I've always been the different one. And taking a path that was so different that, you know, I got the name Collins. You know, you think you're better than us, that type of stuff.
How many in the family?
There's 5 of us
5.
on my mother's side.
Okay.
And then my father had, to my knowledge, 3. An older
Okay.
sister and 2 other brothers.
And you were different out of all 8.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. My father and mother didn't stay together. When my mom went to we were born in Jamaica. I was born in Jamaica.
Both of you were born in Jamaica?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But we're friends of he's more one of my most recent friends. We're friends, but the spirit connected us together
That's good.
some years ago. To a friend who is
In America, right?
No, I'm in Canada. He's in the U.S., but I was in an online business where I was sort of the leader, and one of my friends in Canada had joined, and she had him join, and because you know, I was keeping a lot of meetings, so I got to meet him.
Okay.
So that's a lot of Hebrew Israelites in Canada, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So what happened? We're sort of jumping around here.
I'm sorry. Yes.
But
Because we come across a lot of them.
Yes.
That's the reason why we're asking, you know.
yes, and I was told that by the Spirit that's where I missed my. I got off earlier, but I'm like,
okay.
where was I? Yes.
Okay.
When the Spirit told me, first of all, that
That's why I brought up that.
Yeah,
Good job,
you remember.
Suba.
Yes.
Through studying, even before I started know anything about me being a Hebrew Israelite or anything like that, I was doing my studies. I basically had finished. I love to research. I love to study words and numbers from I was very young. So reading the Bible, I say to me, I don't just read anything. I study, especially things like that. So I had my 10 different dictionaries and concordance, and especially books and so forth, references. That's more in line with the time and period of what you're reading. If you really want to comprehend what it's saying,
Right.
because we read and we comprehend according to today's words and today's behaviors when we should read like that, especially when you're talking about scriptures. Right?
That's right.
Yeah. So I was studying and I basically was finished, and the Spirit just had me moving to one word. I jumped to another word in the concordance and another word, and I'm researching and another word, and then I moved into the dictionaries, and then I think the final one was the Merriam Dictionary. But all of it led me to the word spelt S-O-U-L. And I can say I don't know where that came from, because it wasn't in my conscious mind, and it had nothing to do with what I just finished studying and researching in the Bible and praying about. Came to the word S-O-U-L eventually, and there it is in black and white in the original oldest son when they put it in the etymology of the word, and it said the African black people, black man. Of course, it has evolved into soul food, and the pick that we use to pick our hair, and soul music. But it said the soul, S-O-U-L, could be S-O-L-E. It's a black man. It's right there in black and white. In those older dictionary and so forth books. And damn, I cried like heck. I threw that thing across the floor.
In your
and
soul.
then the Spirit started teaching me more about this soul. And then I will tell you this. When I was in church, as I said, I started at 12 years old, but my life went. And at 27 was when I heard that voice when I was dancing, saying to come back. And in worship service, every time we're talking about Jesus, the Son of God, I would hear this voice saying, it's the Son. It's the sun, that one that rises every morning. It's the sun.
Right.
Right?
That's the God.
It's not the son of, it's not a human, it's not flesh and blood. But at the time,
We're the
was
Son
deep
of God.
into Christianity and all of that. And there was no one around me, even in my family, because like I said, I took this path. So even then, when I started preaching at 12 years old to my family, the things I used to tell my mothers, and so that's where it started. So you think you're better than us, because I'm like, I'm one person. If I'm into something, I'm into it all the way. If I'm helping you, I'm helping you all the way, right? And so I'm telling my mom, based on her lifestyle and things she's doing, mommy shouldn't do this. You've got children, you've got to set an example. I'm telling my older sister, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so so you think you're better than us, right? I started watching Oral Roberts, Rex and Bard back then. That's when televangelism just came in. One of them used to send out this little booklet with the little slots. You put your 5 cents and your dimes in. Well, this little girl used to collect all my 5 cents, send it in, and
Send it in.
he's passed away now. And in 2019, he spoke to me, Rexham Bard. I was at an event and I was shook because my ancestors spoke to me at that event, and I cried for 3-4 hours after that. I had to go to the bathroom to put myself together so I could go home, and I heard the voice of that minister who had passed away, reminding me of those little dimes and stuff I used to give, and letting me know that they have not forgotten my contribution, and that everything was going to be all right because I've been in a state, right? So there's different levels, even in religions and so forth. We know the fake stuff and all of that too. But the thing is, we put out energy into this world, no matter where we were, and that energy has to repay you. So if you put out negative, you're going to get it. If you put out good deeds, you're going to get it. It has nothing to do with religion. Okay? And when you cross over, for many, they will know the truth, and they will say, okay, I got to fix this. Even us, when we cross over and we read our own timeline, we judge ourselves because we are gods. We read our own timeline and our activities. We may find out that, you know what, I got to go back and fix that. You know, we got to learn how to operate like that, because whatever there are laws and principles, universal laws and principles that is not written anywhere. It's just part of the all. It's just part of creation, how life is created, how
That's right.
This symbiotic interrelationship with everything. The air we breathe it in, it supports it. We breathe it out, and the trees breathe it in.
That's right.
Right? And they take what they need from it, and they give us back the oxygen. That interchange is with everything.
That's right.
It's with everything, and we need to go back to that living, so that we all, the entire planet, can evolve. All humanity need to go back to that living and reconnect with the elements: air, water, fire, the earth, and the spirit.
That's the only way.
Which is life, which is what you call God. You can see that is in all of us, but it's not God, because you can't give it a name. So the ancient of ancient of ancients of ancients of ancients, and the other beings that are not of this planet but came to this planet, refer to that entity or energy as the all. And even if you go to Revelations, it will say that it says, I am the Almighty. So I just says the all. I take off the mighty because I think that was interjected,
Created.
for some other being, and which I'm not going to get into. You know, I'll just say it's the Anunnakis. People can go read up about the Anunnakis and when they came to the planet and so forth, and how they, you know, what they did as far as the Homo sapiens that we are now, that are here.
Very deep.
And the Homo erectus and so forth. So we leave that. Yeah, that's
Good
a whole
deal.
lot.
Good deal. Good deal.
So, Sweet Juicy Mama
Yes, ma'am.
and Mr. Rick, I'm so happy and excited
We're so
to
happy
be
to
here.
We're glad to have you
You guys
here.
were the first people, I believe, I started to watch here. When you first came out here, you got this land. There was water everywhere. When it rained, fish was everywhere.
Yeah. Ooh, you remember those days.
It was everywhere.
Yeah.
I know. And a lot of people, both locals and diaspora, were giving you all some flack.
Yeah, they were.
Yes.
Still are. Still are. But it's okay.
You know, the race is not given to the swift or the strong, but
That's
they
right.
that
That's
endure
true.
till the end. You know,
Slowly but surely
Yeah.
carving it into something.
you know.
And we're not going anywhere that way.
Exactly. You guys look at this place. I remembered how it used to look.
Oh yeah.
And you guys were not farmers, naturally.
No.
Never.
But
We've never grew anything.
no, but this was always in you. You had to dig deep to find
Right,
it
that's
for it to
true.
come out. It's in all of us.
Yes.
Guess what? Our ancient. Thank you. He's a cultivator. He's the science behind civilization that taught us this stuff,
That's right.
right? That taught us. So it's there.
Mm-hmm.
It's there. You look like an Enki.
Did she say MP?
Enki.
Oh, okay.
Enki.
No, I've always liked growing things. I just, in the illusion, that's what I refer to it as. I never had I never made time to do it because it was always so misled
Trying
or
to
focused on
survive.
stuff that you shouldn't be focusing on.
Yeah.
You know, basic survival, you know. So, you know, you really didn't get a chance to, you know, do stuff that really pleasured the soul because you're working a 9 to 5. That's the only thing you focus on. So when you get over here, it changes. You know what I'm saying? You get to really read, you know, think,
Yes.
you know, contemplate,
Meditate.
meditate.
All of
You know, you
that.
get to do all that, whereas you can't do it in the illusion because
And relax.
so cutthroat.
The most important thing is calming yourself.
Yes.
Calming. You can never. I mean, you have to really make a great effort to take that time out.
Right.
Lucky for me, because it was my path, is a spiritual path. And if you check your birth date and so forth, I know a lot of people don't believe this, but it's ancient science. You got to get back to it because religion has cut us off from who we are and the truth and our connection to the planet, the moon, which is inside of us, which we are, which is just a reflective outside, right? So once you truly know who you are, you know which part of you is Mars, which part is Saturn, and all of that, and you know, then you know you can your path. You know both the positive and the negative, the magnetic and the electrical part of you, and we've got to balance everything out and know how to move the waters. You know, we all have our dark side and our light side, like everything. You can't have one without the other.
That's right.
You
That's
cannot.
it.
So
Always
we just
connected.
have to learn it and learn how to balance it, and then from there, you know what your true purpose are. You find out what your true purpose are through your birth date, what your deep soul purpose is, what your external purpose is, what your earthly purpose is, what you're supposed to accomplish with, you know, for yourself and for society, and what you're supposed to accomplish spiritually. You can't know, you don't know that by going up in the church
No.
or going up, you know, or just there kneeling and praying 24/7 every 3 hours, and you're not going to get it.
that's right.
I
You're
think
not-
I came out of this.
Those are systems,
Yes.
man-made systems
For control.
that in the space and time when they evolve, you had some king or queen or pharaoh or whatever who wanted more dominance,
That's right.
more leadership, and they create these little isms and schisms and put it in a book, because the word Bible just means a library of books,
Mm-hmm.
right? So where's all the books?
Actually,
And
it's,
and Jesus said, or Yeshua, because there was no J, or you know, Yeshua, Yahuda said, basically, if he were to tell it all, the world couldn't even contain it when it comes to a book. So where's all the other books? And there are lots of other books that were taken out.
That's
People say,
right.
oh, only those that were inspired made it in. Well, truly, go back and study the Nicene. You know, the councils of the Nicenes, and see how many times they have changed stuff. Yeah, maybe they are the ones that were inspired to put in and take out, because they were the elites and the rulers of back then that came and cut up the lands and raped Africa, and not just here. They've been doing it. You know, not just here, but we got the brunt of it, and we're the last of it. But
That's
thank
right.
God that curse is over. They did put a curse. They did put a spell after they studied us and studied our science. They did, and actually there's a Caucasian pastor
Mhm.
that spoke of that. And he said he went to the place and he learned what his ancestors did and how it is that the Americans, Canadians, the Americas, which includes all the islands and Canada, right? The Americas, South America, all of that. The people, especially the brown skin, dark skin people, how the elites, the Europeans, had put a spell, and they walked around the street backwards, and what they chanted and what they did, like magic is real, people. It goes back to ancient times. So if you want to keep your head still in the ground, be my guest. You do you. we will do us.
That's
And
right.
you did
Right?
say there's
You know?
research out there,
Yeah,
right?
the information is there. People have a lazy mind, and again, because the Western world, that is still a slave system, it just keeps you working.
right.
You have to work 2-3 jobs. I mean, I've been there, done that. To survive, you're surviving. You're not living.
That's right.
Right? And so the information is there for everyone. But again, the Spirit would say, not everyone wakes up at the same time in the morning. And then even after you wake up, some people are awake, they're not yet fully alert. They haven't washed the salve off their eyes yet and so forth. They're still there groggy. They're walking and bumping into the wall. So as it is, so it is in natural life. Some people may also have some knowledge, some information, but they don't have the reality within them in terms of living it. So there's a lot of people just like knowledge, just like to read and have information, but they don't live it. And you can tell them from those that are truly living it. Yeah, because those ones are still going the path. They're still sticking to what they've always known and the system. And,
Hard to let loose.
Yeah. So they're still, but it's okay, because we must have our antagonists. We must. It's part of it. So I no longer get upset of people for because they're where they are. Understand that they're where they are, and understand that when you get such, it's like, oh, so you're here as my dumbbell right now. Let me strengthen myself.
That's right.
Here, right? But and some souls have really been assigned to help you evolve and me evolve to be our dumbbells.
That's true.
To be our entire.
They're always there.
So we welcome.
Yes.
When they come, it's like, oh, good. This is my test. I gotta pass this one so I can graduate and increase my vibration.
That's
So
right.
some more good stuff can come into my life.
That's right.
And that is how we're supposed to look and bless them. Well, not bless. I don't like that word anymore. I don't like
We
it,
say,
but,
be
yeah.
more. That's
Yeah,
what we use. Be
yeah.
more.
Yeah, yes, be more. Grant them good favor and good life too, and
Yes.
send them on their way. Yeah.
Good information.
Yes, it is.
Good information.
You heard it here at Bag.
Yep. All right, guys. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. Share the video with a friend. And Marlene, did you say you guys are you guys YouTubers or no?
No. I do like to videotape. I just send to my friends and family. I do have a YouTube channel that I'd started. It's a spiritual channel, Mystic Waters.
Share it, Marlene. Do you have a channel as well, Joseph?
If you want to share, you're
But I
welcome.
really have not been doing anything in a while there. MysticWaters.live, L-I-V-E.
Mystic Waters.
Waters
dot
with an
live.
S, L-I-V-E.
Okay.
Yes,
Alright.
and it's the same. My website is the same.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a.
I
what
think
they
I've
call
come
an
across
energy
Mystic
healer.
Water.
She's an energy healer.
Energy healer.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Reiki master teacher, and the gift of healing, the gift of seeing. What they call the spiritual gifts. Clear. I'm a clear audience, clear sentience, and so forth. And I've been doing that type of work all my life.
So if people wanted to reach you, how could they get in contact with you?
Yeah, through my website, they can contact you. They can contact me there.
And your website
Mail,
again is?
mysticwaters.live. It's the same as my YouTube.
Said it 3 times, they gotta catch it. One of those times.
That's a magical number.
Yeah, we said it 3 times.
That's a magical number.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, Bag Family. We will see you guys in the next video.
All right.
Bye, Bag Family.
Bye, Bag family. Do you guys know how we do love, peace, soul.
Yes.
Y'all want to do that?
Love, peace, and
Soul.
soul.
Hey.
Yes.
Huh?
It's this way. Love,
Love, peace,
peace,
and soul.
and soul.
Okay.
All right, family. You know how we end our videos with love.
Love.
No, you gotta look at the camera. You know how we end our videos, family, with love, peace,
and
soul.
Yes,
See
Joseph,
you next
close,
video.
because that's what we are. Unit.
Yeah, yeah.
See you next video, family.
All right, thanks, Bag family. Love you guys. We'll
right.
see you later.
Somebody